Okay guys, how's it going today? So today is pretty warm out and very windy. That thing's off, of course, like it always is. But hasn't rained here in a few days, so we're kind of in a fire warning. And plus with the wind too, you know, you're not supposed to be burning stuff. Well, I kind of got stuff to burn, but not gonna do it today. The trees are getting some green on them, so which is pretty good. Getting some green grass. I actually even just got done spreading the shit for the gardens, so they're good to go. I gotta just wait for them to see. I don't have like a manure spreader, so I just do it by hand. Just load it up into a trailer, a little John Deere cart, and I just drive around and put little piles everywhere. And then I'll come around later with the cultivator, and I'll just kind of, you know, cultivate them under or whatever, move it around, pull a chain or something. But I'm going to wait for that to kind of dry out. But they are talking rain for tonight, so possibly tonight sometime. And I do see that it is getting kind of cloudy out and dark out, so it might be doing something tonight. As you can see from some of the dark spots. Some dark spots anyway. Yeah. Damn neighbor's roof is singing away again. Yeah, so this tree's getting some green shit on it too. Got tree branches everywhere. Little ones. So I just got done like I said, just got done spreading some manure. So that was a lot of fun. I kind of timed myself. Let's see, I did both of the gardens at the farm. I don't do anything here, of course. So it took me about a good hour, because I got there at 1:30. Didn't start doing anything until about 1:30. I didn't leave the farm until about 2:30. So you know, it's about a good hour. Don't know why it took me an hour. I mean, I was going pretty quick at it. So whatever. It's spreaded and ready to go. I just got to smooth it out with the cultivator and spread it some more. Had to put some air in the John Deere trailer tires because they were freaking low. But anyways, we're going to be talking about the more deck ramp idea again. I kind of had another idea. This might be like part 4 of this, because I might just make these kind of in parts. I kind of had an idea. I think it might be a little bit better. Because I don't know, there's not really much of a difference, I guess. I think it might most likely involve the welder, but I do have a welder, right? So, I think what I was going to do, let's see if this will stand here on its own. No, it will not. I'm supposed to cut the concrete's uneven, but anyway, I'll just lay that kind of here. It's actually maybe going to involve a couple of these. Yep, a couple of these. These are really heavy duty. I guess like street sign pipe posts or whatever. Got a couple of these at the farm, but we just use them for don't use them for a lot of anything anyway. But we had another one of those at the farm. And I see that my uncle's using it, so I'm kind of screwed now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a 10-footer. I can order these online, and like 10-foot, 8-foot, and so on. I'm thinking I'm going to probably just get a 10-footer. It's $80 for a 10-footer. I'm going to probably need a couple of those anyway, but maybe I'll order one pretty soon. See, these are just steel. These are not aluminum. These are steel. So I think what I was going to do, so these are pretty heavy duty, so you're never really going to bend those. Is because I'm going to have to cut these. Kind cut it in half here or something. Probably just used a 3-inch tool for that, so I don't burn through too much metal. But see, I put this up against the tractor tire, like the front tire, and this is just too skinny. So I think I'm going to put 2 of those together, and that should make it wide enough for the tractor tire. Just, you know, it doesn't matter if it overhangs a little bit. So I think, I don't know, see, you're going to have to cut this in such a way. I'm going to have to make, I still have to make the ramp parts where it comes off the ground, or it goes onto the ground and goes up to the top of the deck. So these all have to be kind of like one piece, I think. So I don't really want to make multiple pieces because it ain't going to really be quick. So I think if I haven't looked online yet, but I looked online for these steel posts, and there's a website that sells these. I looked on eBay, but eBay doesn't sell anything, so I think I'll, probably get well, I'm going to get one 10-footer for now. I don't even know if I'll get to it this year, but because I got too many other things going on that I got to try to get done. So I think if we get a couple of those, we might even have to get 3 of those. I don't know. Well, probably, because you're going to have to cut everything to size. I think what I'll do is I'll make the ramps, like maybe if I can cut these in half, or cut them on an angle, and then I'll weld another one of these up on it, to make that angle so the wheel would actually pop up on that and come over the deck and then pop back down, right? So, because this is pretty thick, I'm not going to probably use this piece because I might want to use this piece for something else, but there's another big piece like this at the farm, and I actually was going to maybe cut that in half and then put it together with this, but I might want to keep this. I might want to use this for something else. I don't know. But at least I know that I can order, because these are actually street sign posts, I think. Well, from what the website says. So you can get them without the holes, but I might want them. I think I might get them with the holes. Less weight, I think, and then, just because I could probably weld. I might have to weld a bolt or something onto it, because I think what I'm going to do, if it'll work, you see the tractor, the mower deck's got holes in it. So I think what I could do is make like extensions, like little arms, and then of course the bolts. This would all be, of course, welded together with the bolt. So then you would find a bolt. Of course, none of these bolts would fit through, but what would happen is, that almost makes it through there, is that the bolt would go, here's a bolt for an example, it would be welded to the arm, and then it would go through the mower deck on, the holes. So you need probably a couple different sizes. I mean, I don't think you're going to have to bolt it. I think it'll be fine, because once you get the weight on it, the bolts should pinch themselves. So it has to be kind of like a quick attach thing. I just pull it up and be done with it. I got a spider. You spiders. So I don't know. I think that's still a lot of work, but I don't know. I'll be putting the mower deck on pretty soon. I'm thinking probably next week sometime it's going to have to go on, and then it'll be staying on for the rest of the summer. So I'm not sure what I could do besides kill this damn spider that's now freaking pissing me off. Oh, he fell now anyways. Oh well. Stupid thing. Stupid spiders. So I need something a little wider. I tried to kill them with this, but it didn't work too well. So I think that's what we'll do. Now this is pretty heavy duty steel, so it would probably take a lot of welding power, but put two of them together, weld them together so it's wider. This is 2-inch because I already measured it, and that's what's being sold on the internet. There is a 2-inch by 10-foot long post. Like I said, you can get them in shorter lengths too, but I think I'll just get a 10-footer for now, and then a 10-footer should fit in here. Should fit in here fine. I might have to get rid of the trailer. I don't know if I'm going to get to the trailer this year, but still got to put those on yet too. I got one on. Well, I don't have it on right now, but it's out there and ready to go. It just hasn't rained here lately, so I don't bother putting them on. So, yeah. But anyways, like I was saying, I think if we weld two of them together, don't know how wide that would be then. Well, it would be 4-inch then. So, but then I would build like an arm coming out, and then the bolt would be welded to that, and then the bolt would go into the mower deck, and that should keep it down, or should keep it in place. It probably won't, shouldn't pop out. If it does, you probably could always put the ramps on and then bolt them from underneath. You know, that's always an option too. But I want them to be kind of quick catch. So I don't really want that. I don't want to have to bolt them down. So nasty clouds over there. So I don't know. I think that would work a lot better. Now it's $80 for a 10-footer, but I'm only going to probably be getting 2 or 3 of those. Well, one, not this month because I got taxes, but maybe next month if I'm lucky. I might have to order. I don't know. Still got to order my signs too. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think if we order 3 of those, because a 10-footer, well, hell, you should be able to get at least 2 of those out of get 2 of these out of, you know, a couple, or out of 1 or 2 2 10-footers should be enough. But just weld them together, put the arms on them, that should be good enough. But you are going to probably have to, might have to cut a notch in it. You know, and this is fairly thick steel, so you're never going to bend them. So might have to cut a notch in it somewhere in there to make room for the black shields on the deck that cover up the pulleys. You know, so they don't get full of crap. Well, they still get full of crap anyway, because the belts go through them. So, but you got to make you know, clearance for that, because you don't want to put weight on that. Even though I have been, but I don't like doing that. So I think that'll work. I think that should be fine. Weld 2 of them together, and then put the arms on them. The arms would be just to keep them there. You shouldn't have to bolt them down, but you probably could get away with bolting them down. I don't think I would want to bolt them down. I mean, I guess if you wanted to leave them on permanently, you could. I don't know if I would want to leave them on permanently. I don't know. You'd have to play around with it. Because if you do mount them permanently, which is, you know, a good idea, if I could do that, then it would be a lot better, because I would never have to mess with them again. Just, you know, just drop the deck and then drive right over and be done with it. So, because I don't know, it doesn't bother me having to remove them, but, you know, if I have to remove them, I want them to be removable real quick. I don't want to have to unbolt shit. So, because if this was easier to go over the mower deck with the tractor, then I'd be taking my mower deck off more often. And I don't like to because it's a pain in the ass. So, well, lately I've just been making my own ramps and just driving right over them. But that's still putting pressure on the pulleys. And I don't like that too much. So, I'm going to be probably doing it one more time and the deck will be on for the rest of the summer. Because then I think after that I'll probably be... Well, I still have to cultivate. I think, well, we're done for this week. You guys probably won't be seeing this video now. They're probably Monday, but... I think... Yeah, we're done for today, and we're going to be... Tomorrow I got a doctor appointment. I ain't going to want to do anything on the weekend. Plus, it might be kind of wet, so... I'm thinking Monday I'll be able to get in the gardens, cultivate that mess. Well, I think I might be mowing next week, so... I'm going to have to cultivate one more time, and then drop the cultivator off. And then any tilling that we got to do, I'm just going to have to use the Husky, and then, you know, this little thingy, and need the cultivator parked. Because the deck's going back on, and I ain't taking it off until I'm done mowing for the year, so... So I think that's the only thing I can do. I think I was originally going to get a couple pieces of steel, like flat steel, and just, you know, weld them together or whatever, cut them to size, but that might take a lot of work. This might be a little bit quicker because it only has to be a little bit wide. It doesn't have to be wider than the tractor tires itself, unless you want them to be. But I don't think I'll plan on making them too wide. I think 4 inches should be enough. I mean, this doesn't seem like a lot, but this is only a 2-inch bar. So a 4-inch should actually be, let's see here. Well, this is a 2-inch. You know, that's a 2-inch. So if we go up to a 4-inch, because 2 plus 2 is 4. Yeah, so that would be a lot wider because there's 4. So that should be, that should work. I think that should work just fine. Being 4 inches, 4 inches wide, and then see what's kind of stupid too is that the bolt holes. There's some there for your mulching kit, which I'm not using for. I don't have a mulching kit on, so. But I might be only able to put like one big bolt on one end, and on the other end might be a smaller bolt. Because then on the other end, I have where the scalping wheel is in there. There's a hole there too. So I don't know. I think I would have to get these, like, get 2 of them welded up together and then play with them from there. And I do want to get some fucking use out of my welder because I haven't gotten any use out of it yet. So I figured now's the time to do it. Sometime this summer. And then, I guess even if we don't finish our project, at least we'll have a start. So, that's what I'm thinking of doing. That's what I think would work okay. Because it'll still be light, you know, and it's thick. You know, and the tractor isn't that heavy. And if it does start to kind of bow out a little bit or something, you could just, you know, like pound it straight again, and then just take whatever you got left over for steel, and then just weld it all together. Just weld it in there, you know. That should make it a little thicker and a little more heavy dutier. So, but I guess you guys can tell me what you think on that idea. That's just what I'm thinking of doing. Because no matter what kind of steel you buy, it's going to be expensive. And I'm looking for places that'll sell steel, and I haven't really looked for any places that'll sell me through the internet like big solid chunks of steel. Plus, I don't have a bobcat and stuff to be unloading them, so I gotta stick with the small stuff. You know, try to, at the most anyway, stick to the small stuff that can be shipped. Now, UPS will ship me that. I think it was, well, if you ordered it from that company there, UPS will ship that 10-foot piece. Not sure what there was for shipping charges, but I don't think it was a lot because it's not. I mean, it would just be like this, but brand new and 10 feet long. So UPS would be shipping that. And this was actually supposed to be originally used for the cab for the John Deere, but we never did. I just decided to scratch that idea. So, but 4 inches, you know. Let's see here. I'm too close to my vise to stretch this out, but right now this is a 2-inch bar, or damn near a 2-inch bar. That's 2 inch, I guess, from the inside, but we'll just say it's 2 inches on the outside. It's a little over 2 inches. You go to 4 inches. You know, that's fairly wide, because there's 4 right there. If you guys can read that upside down, but that should be fine. You know, and if it ain't perfect, it ain't perfect. It ain't gonna hurt it none. I'll just keep welding more onto it, but about 4 inches should be enough, I think. So I think it'll be fine. But I am probably going to have to cut notches in it to make room for, like I said, the pulleys and stuff, you know, and stuff. And to tell you the truth, I don't think we have to go too high. How high the ramps are. I'm trying to figure out how I explain this to you. There doesn't have to even be much of a bowl in the toppest part of the ramp to make clearance for for the tractor and the gearbox of your mower deck. Because I think that's where Double Strike was kind of worried about, you know. Well, see, he's got a 4-wheel drive tractor, so he's got a different front end. I have just a standard front end, you know. It's just a 2-wheel drive tractor. So for me, I can get away with having my ramp real, not steep but shallow or whatever. It's almost flat, you know. It doesn't have to be, you know. It doesn't have to be like a real ramp, you know. It can be flat pretty much because I get enough clearance. Because when I've made my redneck ramps, which is nothing, just like a piece of wood and a kind of a round disky steel thing and a flat piece of iron steel, you know, paper thin. These things were paper thin. And probably about like that thick. That's how thick they are, about that. The piece of wood's about that, but, you know, doesn't matter so much about the wood, but it doesn't really, I use the wood for coming off, or going on, whatever. But I think, well, see, when I have that on there, I have plenty of clearance because I'm not banging into nothing. I don't hear any banging going on, so I think I'm okay with it. Double Strike, like if I built ramps for him, because I'm sure he'll want some for his tractor, he might need it more severe, more of a going uphill kind of thing, because he's got the 4-wheel drive. He's got his front axle there, so that's a little bit different. I think Double Strike, if you watch this video, I think what you should do is, just for shits and giggles, if you guys have some wood, maybe even some like plating, steel plates, you know, it doesn't have to be like, you know, 3 inches thick, you know, less than an inch, you know. Make yourself a redneck ramp, just like a standard redneck ramp like I did. And actually drive over your mower deck with your front end. Don't use your rear end because that'll put too much weight on it. So I just use my front end. I go over it with my front wheels. Don't go over it with yours because you got the cab and that'll add too much weight to it. So I think if you just make yourself a ramp to just get up there, then you'll know for sure. Because if you bang into something, then you'll know. Then you're too low. So then you would have to have your ramps adjusted. And that's where it would be a lot more trickier because I don't have a 4-wheel drive tractor. I mean, if I could borrow one, if I could rent one for a couple of days, you know, that would be fine. But I don't even have the money to rent one. And I'm not going to have Double Strike bring his tractor all the way down here, you know, because he needs it. So if he lived closer, it wouldn't be a problem. And then I could just go get it, or he could bring it to me and I could mess around with it. But it's not really an option. So, because he lives way the hell over there and I live way the hell over here. So But I forgot too that if you wanted these things permanent, bolted to your mower deck, you're going to have to cut a hole in this, you know, somewhere in there, wherever it would be, so you can grease it, because you got your grease nipple down there on that pulley, and you have to be able to grease that. And you don't really want to have to you don't want to have to remove the ramps all the time, unless you have them in the quick catch design, which is what I want. But if I can get away with them just being permanently bolted on there, you know, fine. It'll be fine with me. But is it going to look pretty? No, I'm probably not even going to paint them. There's no point, because they're just going to rust anyway. I don't know. I might prime them. I don't know. I want to get them built, and I want to get them built and see how they're going to perform and stuff. But that's what I'm thinking. Because like I said before, I was just going to get plating there and weld it all together and make a ramp out of that. I think it'd be easier to just grab a couple pieces of these bars, weld them together, and you can see it's going to be, you know, quite. It'd probably be actually quite like thick. That'll give me a 2-inch jump up, because it's 2 inches, I think, from inside. So that's how I measured it. Because if you go on the outside, it's just over 2 inches, and if you go from the inside, I had my good tape measure here, but I got this little shitty one. You know, this tape measure is not even accurate, I don't think, anyway. But you know, it was 2 inches or so. This says less than that, but this is an old tape measure, so. I may have to actually cut these down, because I don't need a severe hump in my ramps. Double Strike would probably need that extra 2-inch. You know, he would probably need that 2-inch jump up, because he's got that axle and, you know, and that shit in the way. So you don't want to be banging into that all the time. We'll just scrape the paint off it. Might even damage it. So we don't want that. So. I gotta spray some damn Roundup too. I got weeds growing. I don't know if I should do it today or not. It's supposed to rain, and it's looking nasty over by Canada. You damn Canadians are sending me bullshit again. Ooh, look at that, mama. Well, it's okay, Canadians. I need this. We need this rain anyway. We're in a drought, so we're actually in a fire risk right now. So that's okay, Canadian people. You can send her on in, because we need it. So I ain't gonna bitch about it. So I think that's what we ought to do. I know, guys, it's, you know, yeah, it's all this welding you gotta do. I need to learn how to weld anyway, so it's perfect. That's actually perfect for me, because I can weld them 2 pieces together, and I can learn how to weld. So that's what I need to do. So I haven't even done a cold start on my welder yet. Well, you don't really hear it running anyway, so. Because I'm itching to use my welder. I want to break it in. I want to put a couple hours on her, you know. So, man, it's fucking nice out. You know, with this hot weather, the way it's so hot right now, this is kind of like I think this was a south wind, but I think it's a north wind now because of the storm. Which way are you blowing, wind? It's coming from the west. Well, there's probably a storm over there in the west, so I think we were having a south wind going on. But it is absolutely nice. It's just perfect out. Yeah, it's pretty windy, but on a day like this, you kind of need it when it's so warm out. If it was like this when it was 90 out, it would be perfect. If we get these kind of hot days, there should be a wind. But sometimes we get unlucky and we have 90-degree weather and no wind. And it's miserable. So today's actually perfect. I mean, I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, you know, and just my standard sweatpants, you know. So I ain't working today, so there's no point in putting on my heavy pants, you know. So it's nice out. I gotta get me a couple new t-shirts too. I'm getting low on these. So, of course, these kind of shirts don't last. These are, I think, 100%. Well, I don't think they're cotton. Well, they probably are, but they're. I had a couple of these other shirts, and I blew through them in a couple of months. So, I gotta get me a couple of new shirts, some pants and shoes and stuff too. I gotta get. So, but I think that's what we ought to do. Just weld 2 of those fuckers together. cut the section out of them. You know, you might have to cut a piece out. Because I don't need 2-inch, I don't need a 2-inch jump up because I don't have, I have enough clearance, even just with, you know, that thin steel stuff, because I don't hear anything clinking and a banging, so double strike would probably need the 2-inch bump up. We could probably even get him higher if 2 inches isn't enough. I mean, he could just send the ramps back and then I could just add on to it. It would be fine, but I'll tell you the truth, if I ever did make him for double strike, I think he'd be better off just sending them to one of his neighbors. Because it would cost, for him to have to send that shit back to me and then me have to send it back out, this is going to cost us a lot of money. So I think I would just build them, and then from there, then he can take it to whoever he's got over there, and they can just kind of, you know, fuck around with him a little bit, add it. Because if you have to add more onto it, you could just actually, where the ramp begins to go down, because it'll probably be welded there, I don't know, because I can't really bend this steel because I don't have a torch, so if it, you might have to put a severe angle on it, so he could probably take it to someone that could probably cut the weld and then just bend it more and then re-weld it, you know, and it would probably be better. And then they can add the extra. How many inches he thinks he would need for that jump up? So I don't know. He might even be okay with just a 2-inch bump up, like, you know, what's on this bar here. Even though I don't need a 2-inch jump up, but I could probably get away with half an inch. I don't even need that, because like I told you guys, with that thin plating that I got going on there with my redneck ramp for right now, it's perfectly fine. I don't have any banging or clanking going on, so a 2-inch jump up would be overkill for me. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have it, because then you would damn well know that you'd have plenty of clearance, but so. And I did fix the squeaky brake on the John Deere. I know what it was, and I think it was double strike that set it. I mean, was it double strike? I don't know, but there was a squeaky brake, or the squeaky brake. There's 2 springs on that fucking deal. That's what gives you the tension. To tell you the truth, I think that could be loosened up a little bit. I think it's a little bit too tight, but maybe I'm getting weak. I don't know, but. Well, not too tight. I did slam on my brakes this morning because I was hauling some shit around and I kind of needed to slam my trailer, so kind of had to lock my brakes up to do that. So there's 2 springs. They're kind of like this on top of each other, I think. And when you pull on the pedal or push on the pedal, they get stretched. Well, I think it was both of those springs. They ride on a shaft, on a little shafty-dooey thing. And that's when you hear that squeaking going on. So I sprayed some WD-40 on that thing yesterday, and of course I worked it today. It's just quiet. It's just so quiet. It's unbelievable. That tractor's like brand new again. Besides that little vibrating noise it got going on, but I think that's my footrests that are getting loose. They'd probably just melt them and it would probably stick again. So just heat it up and melt the plastic, and it'll probably stay fine, but and ever since that, my pedal works fine now. I don't have that squeak going on. So double strike, if you get that squeaky bullshit going underneath your pedal, on your brake pedal, look for those 2 springs, and those fuckers are way up in there too. So, and if you're going to spray them with WD-40, I recommend wearing safety glasses, because I almost got WD-40 in my eye that one time. It probably wouldn't have not been good. So make sure you wear safety glasses when you're doing that. Like I said, I just put WD-40 on mine. I don't know how long it'll last. It's been, I did it yesterday, and it's been about a good day now, so it's been working fine. We'll see how long it'll last, but if it'll last me at least 3 months, then I don't have a problem doing it every 3 months. I don't think so. I say that now, but then 3 years from now, I'll be like, oh, this is driving me mad. But whatever, it's fine. So yeah, if anyone owns a John Deere X700 series tractor, I think the brake pedals are all the same. They got the dual springs on there, and they both get pulled. That's what gives you the tension that you know when you slam on them. I think one actually is the tension, and the other one I think it's that one either does tension too, or it's what actually pulls the brake. But that wouldn't make sense because the spring would stretch. So no, I think they both actually are just tension springs. Because I think the brake pedal is actually hooked. Because I looked at it, where the brake pedal is on the tractor, there's a little rod that I think that bends and comes out and goes to the right side of or the left side of the tractor, goes down to the side of the tranny, or the gearbox or whatever, you know, for the rear end, and the rear axle, and that pulls on that, and that locks your brakes up. So it's a neat little setup, but if you ever have to maintain them bitches, they're way up in there. You have to crawl right underneath the tractor, and you got to make sure you have your deck off. You can't do it with the deck on. That'd be such a bitch to fucking do it with the deck on. You would have to. You'd be better off just letting your girl do it, because at least she'd be more flexible. You know, I'm not very flexible, so I can't get up in there. I have to take the deck off. So if you're gonna try it with your deck on, get yourself a skinny girl and let her do it, because she'll be more flexible. She can just crawl right up in there and be, hey, I'm inside your tractor. Don't start it up and run me over. It's fucking crazy. That's how crammed it is in that motherfucker. But, you know, that's how it is with those little compact things. Yeah, they're nice because they're small, but they're a bitch to work on, too, when you need to work on them. But, whatever. Maintain them and you won't have too many problems with them. Get too many problems, it's just time for a new tractor. So... And I know that someone was selling a John Deere x724. It had like over 1,000 hours on it. That's not pretty good. The John Deere just hit 260 hours today, boys. So she's getting up there in her hours. We'll see if we'll get to 300 hours by fall. We might. I don't know, but so far it's been a pretty good John Deere. It hasn't let me down much. So. Just, you know, minor problems, which I ain't gonna really complain about, I guess, now. So because they're fixed. Fixed the brakies, the brake, you know, because that was squealing when you pressed on it. Look at the dark clouds. Well, they're gonna be getting some rain here for sure, so that'll be nice to get, just because we kind of need it, and plus that'll make my grass grow. But so yeah, I think that's what we'll do. With the ramps, I'll just get another chunk of those sons of bitches and weld them together. And what I would make the arms out of, the extension arms, I have no effing clue. I might have some scrap metal at the farm that my uncle's not using. Just, I guess, get some steel bits and drill through them and make your holes. But, I don't know. I just want to get those two welded together. And then to make the ramps, like when you come off, like when your tractor tire's on the ground and you want to climb that ramp going on top of your deck, that's going to be made out of the same thing as this. You know, this here. I'm just going to cut it in half. Yeah, I'll probably just cut it in half. I don't think I'll be able to bend them out. So, I might actually have to... like when I cut it off here, I think it was, yeah, because then you're going to have this little bit hanging over, so I might just actually like recut that off, put it on straight and weld it, and then just, you know, make it straight again. So that's going to be a lot of work, but I think that would be better. I'll just use my 3-inch tool. I could use my grinder, but then that'll grind up too much metal, and then I kind of might need that, you know, so 3-inch tool will do a little bit better on cutting that. So it'll take a lot longer, but I think I got plenty of discs to last me a while. I can always get more too, because they were kind of cheap from Northern Tool. So anyways, guys, I guess I'll probably take off the part of this long video. Just wanted to let you guys know that this is another, whatever part this is now. I think this is probably like part 5 now. I don't know. I don't know how many parts I've made, but this is just an update on it, I guess. I think that's just what we'll do. I think that'll work, because this is pretty thick stuff. and that should work. I'm not going to use this piece, I don't think, but I'll probably get a couple more of those. I can only probably get, well, nothing this month because I got taxes, so next month I'll probably try to get one piece, and then the month after I'll try to get another piece. But I think that's what would work the best for us, or for me anyway. To weld those two fuckers together, and I'll cut them to size. And then I don't think it would flex too much. Because another thing I think I was going to do too is that it would just be, because see, in the middle of the deck is where your pulley is, right? So there can't be nothing there to support the middle of the ramp. So the middle of the ramp's going to have to support itself. Well, if it starts to bow, just straighten it out, and you'll just have to weld in more steel to thicken it up. That's really all you could do, I guess. But double a strike, if you watch this video, maybe I'll tell you to watch this video. If you have a way of maybe getting your mortar deck off, like driving over it, with maybe some big 2x4s or something, I don't know, just kind of make up a ramp. But be careful when you're doing it, because you got to be careful, those boards might go flinging. Well, you got a cab, so you're a little bit more safer, but you don't want to bust the glass out or something. So just take your time going up it. Try it without your diff lock. If you can climb it with just one tire, it'd be better. But if you can't, then put your diff lock on. If you still can't climb it, then put your four-wheel drive on. But you should be okay with just your diff lock, because I'm okay with it. So, plus you got bigger tires than me, and you got more grippier tires too, so you should be able to pull it fine. You might have to, I think when it comes time for the ramps, you might have to take your mortar deck off on like the lawn, the level lawn, not concrete, because I think your deck would just slide, because that's what happened to me the last time I tried it. I took it off in my garage, and when I tried to drive over it, my deck just slid. So another thing you could do, well, if you're out on the lawn, you could just, it should stay, but if it don't stay, you could always put spikes in front of your mortar deck. Just take like a couple of, like, say a couple of these. Hell, I can even make you a couple. Take a couple of these, grind them into like a spike, and then pound them out. They pound them down into the ground, and then your mortar deck would be pushed up against this, and then that would keep your deck from sliding. So that's another option that you could do. And then I think it would be better to take it off on your lawn, so then you could just I don't know, you could probably just leave it wherever you put it. I would probably put a tarp over it or something to kind of keep some of the rain and shit off it. So, but anyways, guys, that's an update on the ramp idea. This here just came to me like this morning, pretty much. It's like, oh, that would probably work, because I can get these. They're expensive, yeah. Well, you can get shorter ones to be a little bit less money, but I think I'm just gonna save myself the trouble and just get me the 10-footers, and then could probably get away with the 8-footers as well. But I think we'll be fine with a couple 10-footers, and weld them together. That should give me my ramp length. And I might have to, like I said, cut notches in them. That should make the clearance I need. And then we should be fine. There goes the Black Ranger. So, but yeah, I think that'll be fine, guys. I think that'll be perfectly fine. I'm gonna actually have to cut these to size too, because this piece here is actually it's too long. I'm not sure how long this piece is. I haven't measured it, but it's too long. It has to actually be cut, and it's really fairly heavy stuff too. So that will make your deck a little bit heavier. But like I said, if you cut it to size and take pieces of metal off, it should weigh a little bit less. So. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'll probably take off for today. Do part of this long video, but just wanted to give you guys an update on this. I know I haven't made a video on this in quite some time. Well, I just been trying to think if I could come up with something a little bit better, and I think I might have found it. So Because these used to be street sign, like really big street sign posts, and you can pretty much just buy them anywhere. So, and then we'll just do that. That should be fine. Weld them together. And then that should be 4 inches thick or 4 inches wide. That should be more than enough. If not, then I'll just have to weld on another one, cut it in half, and weld it on. It's it's just all trial and error kind of stuff. So, but we should be fine. I think with 4 inch. And I guess we'll just do one step at a time. Try to get a couple things done anyway, and see if I guess if we can make something up. I don't think it'll get done this year, obviously, but it might next year for sure. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna take off. Do part of this long video. So yeah, anyways, guys, I'm gonna take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.